motto is love your food to love your health. You don't need to eat the whole plate. Stop when you're 80% full. Don't worry about what's in the plate. Worry about how you feel. I wrote my book, Eat to Beat Disease. I didn't really set out to become a writer, an author. I love books, but that's not something I really wanted to do. And this is a pretty thick book. The reason I wrote it is because unlike drugs, which might take 10 years and $1 billion to develop, food is something different. It's got intimacy, and food is very close to us. I mean, we all have some food that we're connecting with our childhood, what our mom cooked, a smell that we love, and we all come from a culture, and food is really part of culture. So we're all from someplace. And that's why I really wanted to get the word out that the things that we're ultimately more connected to than medicine, our food, can actually impact our health. So science, health, food, these are my passions. And I'm somebody who's super mission driven. So that's why I'm taking my time to share my research and my knowledge with you. Before we talk about what to add to your diet, I do want to say we should all start with the clean slate. Okay. And all of us eat some junk and get bad habits. So I want to actually identify a few things that make it harder for your body to stay healthy. So that way we can move them off the grid, cut down or cut them out. Okay, so this is the level of the playing field. So here are 5 things to watch out for because they squash our body's health defenses. Number 1, added sugar. I'm not talking about sugar in a mango or, a fruit or a vegetable. I'm talking about the 10 teaspoons of sugar that are added to a can of soda, all right? Or a candy bar, or something else that might be ultra processed that's super sweet. Added sugar over time overwhelms your body's metabolism. You can't handle that sugar, and added sugar actually stuns our health defenses. So, so your health defenses want to work at their peak, but if you've got too much sugar around, sugar dissolves in our bloodstream, right? You can measure your blood sugar at a doctor's visit, and it makes everything work like in slow motion. So that's one thing that actually stuns our health defenses. Number 2, ultra-processed foods. This is what comes in a box, in a can, in a jar that you get in the middle aisle of a store. When you open it up and when you pick it up and you look at the label, it's got so many ingredients, like 20 ingredients, most of which are in Latin or Greek that you can't pronounce and you have no idea what it is. Now, ultra-processed foods are foods that your grandmother or great-grandmother would not recognize as a food, that comes from a factory that takes whole foods and kind of grinds them up and extrudes them and colors them and adds all kinds of synthetic chemicals. Ultra-processed foods stun and suppress our body's health defenses. We don't want that. We want to start with a clean slate. Alcohol is another thing that in excess stuns our health defenses. So all the things that we need, it's true, a glass of wine contains polyphenols from the grape, not the alcohol. So it's in the colored juice, but not actually in the ethanol, the alcohol, the chemical part of it. And people drink wine because they like the buzz you get, but it's not the buzz, nothing to do with alcohol. Alcohol is actually a toxin. It kills brain cells and it kills liver cells. Fortunately, we can regenerate some of those, but again, too much alcohol puts us at our health defenses at a disadvantage. The other thing is a lack of movement. Now, we're all coming back onto the world now, so there's no excuse not to get back on your feet, go for a walk, spend 30 minutes a day, get your heart rate up. Okay, even walking around your house or your apartment actually can get your blood flowing, and that actually, believe it or not, movement changes our gut microbiome. You've heard about gut health, or you're going to hear about more for this from me. Gut health actually involves at least brain health, heart health, immune health. And so if you're not moving, couch potato, all right, it actually impacts our microbiome. It turns our gut microbiome into an ecosystem that's not well behaved. So again, lack of movement, inactivity, squashes our health defenses. And finally, the last one I want to talk about is overeating. So I know all of us have done this, me too. You go to sit down at a meal, at a holiday family meal, food is so good, you load up your plate, you eat it, and then you go back for seconds, and then, you don't have to eat a couple of bites, but then you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I went from feeling really good and enjoying my food to feeling really bad, and now I'm kind of regretting that last bite. Overeating, just extra sugar, actually overwhelms our body's health defenses, overwhelms our metabolism. We can't stand it. Actually, like all those extra calories the energy have to get stuffed into fat cells. Now your fat cells are unhappy. Now you got inflammation. Okay, all kinds of things that actually hurt our body's health defenses. So how do you not overeat? There is an old Confucian saying translated in Japanese called hara hachi bun mi. Hara hachi bun mi. And that means stop eating when you're 80% full. All right. Now think about it. You're piling onto your plate, okay? Or somebody hands you a plate that's packed with food. All right. You don't need to eat the whole plate. This is like quit the Clean Plate Club. I'm giving you permission to do this. Stop when you're 80% full. Don't worry about what's in the plate. Worry about how you feel. Stop before you feel like you are actually full. Leave the party before it's time, right? Leave people wanting more. That's basically the whole principle of not overeating. Those extra calories suppress our body's health defense systems. They also cause you to be obese. It's something I'm working on for my next book. And it causes all kinds, like a whole domino effect.